Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds. And this is another episode of The Best, a series where I rank things, players, managers, games, anything to do with Liverpool Football Club or in and around the Premier League as well, including Liverpool players or Liverpool managers, whatever. I like to rank them in top three, top four, top five, top tens, whatever you want to do. Get your ranking in the chat as well in the comments. This best episode is about the best players currently on form in the Premier League. Um, there's a few Liverpool players that have their names up there in the definitely in this conversation. There's other players as well. This comes around from what's going on online in social media. Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, and Mohamed Salah sort of debates. Jamie Carragher brought it up on Sky Sports where he thinks Cole Palmer's been the best player in the last 18 months. And I sort of get that in terms of 18 months. I think a lot of people took his comments out of context and didn't really listen to his full comments on it because he did say 18 months rather than this season. But I'm going to base it on this season and currently the best players in the league on form and just in general as well. Mohamed Salah definitely in the top five players. I'm going to shout a few players. I'm going to start with keepers. This season, Alisson Becker can't be classified as the best keeper on form. Obviously, he's been out. He's still best keeper in the world, best keeper in the league by far. But in terms of form, I would probably have to go. David Raya's done all right. I think Kelleher should have a shout to in terms of keepers. I think David Raya's done all right as well. I think they've got a solid foundation anyway in defence as well as him in net. Vicario is having a good season as well. Emi Martinez again having a good season. I can't really put. I don't think there's an actual standout keeper this season for me to put them in this conversation of top five best players this season at the moment. But I think there's players that have had good seasons, but I don't think they've done enough to be in this conversation top five. So keeper wise, I'd say Vicario, David Villa probably the best at the moment out there in terms of playing well. And Kelleher, I think Kelleher deserves a shout, and also Alisson Becker, still the best keeper in the league, by the way. So if you're actually going on actual best players in the league, just general, Alisson Becker is definitely in there for a shout for the top five. Defenders wise, the one we put forward is Virgil, but also Kanate. And this I would say, what I'm going to do with this ranking is I'm going to mix both form and just general abilities and things like I know how good I am, how good I know these players are. Form will come into it as well. So who are the best current top five players in the Premier League? And Kanate also is in terrific form for his injury and certainly deserves to be up there in terms of top five, possibly for form. But I'd still put Virgil van Dijk up there first in terms of overall as well as form. So his form's not exactly dropped off. In fact, it's been incredible this season for us. So Virgil is definitely the shout for defenders into this conversation. Top five best players in the league currently. Would he get in top five? We'll find out at the end because I'm going to go through a few more players and I think he's got a very good shout of being top five for me. In terms of he's the best defender in the world and his form is good anyway. It's class anyway. So it definitely has got a great shout to be top five. And I don't think there's anyone else in defence that really has a shout on that. Saliba, Gabriel, certainly in terms of their abilities as well. But I'm thinking because of top five players as a whole, including like people like Salah, Saka, Cole Palmer, I don't think they get above them, like Saliba and Gabriel. Again, Trent, on ability-wise and things like that, possibly has a good shout of being top five best players in the league. But his form hasn't been incredible, but he has been he has been all right. He has been very good, actually, but not enough to make the top five. I think Virgil has in terms of ability and the form as well. So defender-wise, apart from Virgil, no one else really can push this in this ranking. Midfielders. So the midfielders that stand out for me this season, obviously we could put Gravenberch forward. Curtis Jones had a good season, but I won't say he's been as good as Gravenberch, and Gravenberch is definitely in these conversations, in this sort of ranking conversation. Other teams, probably Moises Caicedo. Alongside Gravenberch, I think Moises Caicedo has been the best centre midfielder in the league this season on form, you're still going to get shouts of. I want to include Rodri because Rodri's out for the season, so I'm not going to include Rodri. De Bruyne is definitely top 5 players in the league, but if I'm including form as well to coexist together, I can't have him in this top 5. And that's mad to say, but he hasn't playing number 1, and when he has been playing, he hasn't been amazing. So I can't really have De Bruyne in there, but I can hand on my heart say De Bruyne's the joint or second best player in this league, just overall, without form. But because I'm including form as well, not just form and just general, but I think I'm including both together, I can't put De Bruyne in this certain top 5. Gravenberch and Moises Caicedo certainly are up there as well in terms of form and abilities. They're not as good as De Bruyne in terms of ability and overall, but the form sort of picks them up a little bit as well. So I can't think who else could really go up there in terms of midfielders that I think have stood out this season. I think Yuri Tillemans has been fantastic at Aston Villa. He definitely deserves a shout out. Going through the teams now in my head. James Maddison probably deserves a shout as well for his incredible season so far at Tottenham. He's been on off though. He's been on off recently, but I think Tottenham as a whole has been off recently, so it's not really looking bad on him as an individual. But yeah, in terms of Arsenal, Declan Rice and Odegaard have to be up there in terms of shouts for top 5 as well. Odegaard, see if Odegaard had been playing enough, I think Odegaard would have made the top 5 because I think Odegaard is absolutely talented, and he would get into our midfield. And Arsenal did an absolute steal with him when they got him, when Real Madrid let him go. And he's always had the ability to be a talented player like this, and he's showing it at Arsenal. And a few teams do that. They do let players like that go. Man City did it with Cole Palmer, and they're regretting it now. Probably regretting it now. But Real Madrid, I won't say regret losing Malaga, but they could have had a player there in him, and Arsenal got that player now. So Declan Rice again on ability is probably definitely up there with the shouts, but he's not been incredible this season. He's been good. He's been quite solid at times, but I think Arsenal's midfield's been, because they've missed Odegaard so much, that's where their drop off came from. And I just think that's why I see Odegaard as the most important player they have. It's come back and he's played well again. And Arsenal look a little bit better since coming back, and that's how big of a player he is. But I'm just thinking, he has had a good, when he has played though, Odegaard has had a good season. So could I technically put him in this top 5 based on form and general ability above Gravenberch, above Caicedo? I don't know if I could. I think he is better than Gravenberch and Caicedo. I think Gravenberch needs to do it another couple of seasons. But Caicedo's been excellent for 2-3 seasons, hasn't he? And he's doing it this season again. It's definitely a debate to be had with them for different positions, but I'm classifying midfield as a whole thing. Yeah, would I put any of those in top 5? We'll see at the end. So I'm going to go through the forwards. Obviously, I think there's an obvious 3 that definitely go into the top 5 for me: Salah, Saka, and Palmer. And I don't think anyone can argue those 3 not being in the top 5 best players in the league currently, based on form and general overall abilities. Those 3 for me are my top. Are my top 3? Or does Virgil sneak in then to top 3? Am I going to piss off a lot of Arsenal fans saying Virgil's in the top 3, so Saka? Or do I think Saka's in the top 3? You know what? I'm just about going Saka in the top 3 over Virgil, because I think Konate has been the best on form over Virgil this season. But like I said, I'm doing both general and form together. I still think Saka's done it this season incredibly. I said that Arsenal have missed Odegaard, and Saka seems to be their really only attacking output. Salah has help from like Diaz, Gakpo, and Jota when he's available. But Saka seems to be doing it by himself at the moment in terms of attacking wise. Martinel's dropped off. Havertz is not a striker really. Gabriel Jesus is not doing anything. Trossard's dropped off as well. So I feel like Saka's basically doing it by himself in terms of going forward, and he's incredible. I mean, the goal he scored against us, he spanned Robbo, and he put it in above Alisson. Incredible goal. And I think that's sums up Saka, and he deserves his peas. I don't get why Saka gets so much hate off rivals. I don't get why he gets so much disrespect off rivals. Is it just bias? I think it is just bias from some people. I'll always say Saka's incredible. Yes, he does need to start doing better in bigger games, but he has been started doing that in recent years. He's done it in Champions League this season in big games. He did it against us in Emirates in the big game. So he is starting to do it in big games now, which I think defies players as world class. When he starts to do it in those big games and more consistent in those big European Champions League games and the big Premier League games, that's when I can start saying, yeah, if you're doing it in those as well as the others, then world class is definitely a shout for these players. So I think Bukayo Saka is world class, and I think Bukayo Saka is the third best player in the Premier League. Unfortunately for him, there are two players that are just something else at the moment, and that's Cole Palmer and Mohamed Salah. The two players that are on form the best players in the league, but in general play and general abilities right now as well, the best players in the league. They are absolutely incredible players, and I love to see players in this league like this. Better for my club, better for Mohamed, better watching Mohamed Salah. But I do like to watch Cole Palmer. I like to watch players like this, and it's a blessing to have players like this in this league, and we're blessed to see these players playing week in, week out, putting up these forms, because they're fantastic role models for the next generation of kids and footballers. Incredible people, and they seem like incredible people off the pitch as well, which I love. This is why I love these three as individuals as well. Mohamed Salah, Cole Palmer, and Bukayo Saka, because they're incredible people off the pitch. They're so humble, so genuinely nice people. And this is perfect to have these three as the best three. They are the perfect role models for the next generation in this country. And just throughout world football as well, not just in this country, in every country. Like Salah has a big following in Egypt. And I hope he's inspiring other Egyptian children to become a footballer. And you can make the top no matter what country you come from. You know, he's probably the greatest to ever play the game in that country. Probably the greatest African player of all time. So, and that's a big shout, I know, but it potentially could be easily. But yeah, it's such a nice thing to see that these three are such humble, decent human beings as well as great players, and they're the best three players in the league currently. Past that, the likes of De Bruyne, Haaland. Again, Haaland, we know what he's capable of. He's an absolute machine, but I can't put him in this top five because his form's been atrocious. So yeah, I can't really put him in there. But who gets that fifth spot? So number one is definitely Mohamed Salah, the best player in the league. Number two, Cole Palmer. And that's no disrespect to Cole Palmer. I think Mohamed Salah is just Mohamed Salah. Cole Palmer could he be on tied with Mohamed Salah? There's a potential if he keeps it up, yes. But it's not a little bias either on this. I think Mohamed Salah is just different grade. I think he's best player in the world right now. But Cole Palmer number two, Bukayo Saka number three, number four. I want to go Virgil, and like I said at the beginning, this is not just based on pure form. This is a mixture of form and actual general abilities. So, like Kevin De Bruyne has the general ability, Erling Haaland has the general ability, but they don't have the form to go with it. I think Virgil does, and Virgil hasn't been the best Liverpool defender this season. I think Konate has, but I think Virgil's got that. It's just that world class player. He's been that world class player for a few seasons, so I think that's got him behind as well. So he's definitely top five players at the moment. Fourth, I would like to put Konate in there. Gravenberch, Caicedo. Would any of them get in the top five currently? Other players that do deserve a mention this season, though, in terms of form and playing well, is Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea. Incredible. People doubted him, and I thought he had something obviously came from the Portuguese league and they were doing it in the Portuguese league like Nunes. But I feel like that after that first season, it sort of is the way he plays at Chelsea. I think Chelsea as a whole has sorted themselves out, and that's influenced Jackson much more. I think he's become much more of a rounded player, and he's starting to bag goals as well this season. So Jackson's been incredible this season. Morgan Rogers at Aston Villa has been incredible. Probably the standout for them. I said Tielemans earlier for Aston Villa has been good as well, but I think Morgan Rogers has been the main one for me that stood out. Chris Wood and what Ever's doing at Tottenham, at Nottingham Forest, like Gibbs White, absolutely incredible player, doing bits as well. Smith Rowe's doing bits at Fulham. Going down, thinking who's doing bits elsewhere. Isak's always a very good option. Bruno Gomes is another very, very good player at Newcastle, but I can't put him in his top 10. I don't think I put him in top 10, but I can't put him in his top 5. So currently, best player though, would it be Moises Caicedo or would it be Gravenberch? Is it between those two, or does someone else have a shout? I think Odegaard has that shout, but he hasn't been playing. That's the thing with Odegaard. If he had been playing, and then I think Odegaard gets that top 5, but I can't give it him. Can I get like half of Gravenberch, half of Moises Caicedo for this 5th spot? Or is that just sitting on the fence? Is that just sitting on the fence? I don't want to sit on the fence. I think Gravenberch is incredible, and he has his ability to adapt to make that 6th role is this season has saved Liverpool, because we again didn't go get a 6 in the summer as per, and we had to have someone else to adapt. Like McAllister had to adapt his game last season. Gravenberch has done that fantastically, and he has been incredible. But then again, Caicedo's just incredible. Oh, this is difficult. I wish we bought Caicedo, man. A Caicedo, Gravenberch, and McAllister as a midfield 3 would have been something else. You know what? Is it Liverpool bias or saying Gravenberch? I'm going to go Gravenberch. I think he's always had this ability, Gravenberch. I just think we have to unlock it. And I still don't think we've seen the best of Gravenberch. So I still don't think he's a 6. Not properly, not defensively wise. These midfielders can defend, like people like Gravenberch and like McAllister. Players like that, midfielders, should be able to defend and attack. But I just think he's still not getting the best out of him like I did with McAllister last season. I think he's still better as a box-to-box, where he can drive forward a little bit more. And I think he's holding back on that because of his defensive duties, which he's doing fantastically. But I would love to see a defensive-minded player next to him in a double pivot and allow Gravenberch to go forward a little bit more. So yeah, I'm going to go Gravenberch because he's had to adapt his game in terms of top 5. No, I don't think anyone else possibly is in first shout in terms of this top 5. No. So number 1, Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah. Best player in the league, best player in the world, number 1. Number 2, the Cold Palmer. Incredible player. City must be absolutely reeling and seething that they've let this guy go, because he's an absolutely incredible player and such a cold character, such a cool character, composed, and he's such a brilliant player to watch. He just glides around the pitch and he's a fantastic player to watch. Like I said, it's a pleasure watching players like this. So Salah, number 1, Cole Palmer, number 2, number 3 is Bukayo Saka. Number 4 is Virgil van Dijk. And number 5, it's going to look biased, isn't it? 3 Liverpool players. Ryan Gravenberch, because of his ability to adapt his game this season and be incredible. He needs a rest, by the way, as well. But yeah, that's my 5 best players currently in the Premier League, based on form and based on general abilities together. Hence why some people that's on form doesn't get an A. Hence why some people that has general ability and doesn't have a form don't get in, like De Bruyne, Odegaard, for example. I think Odegaard would get in there if he played a little bit more without his injuries. Without his injury this season, I think he'd been definitely 4th or 5th. But I can't. So that's my top 5. What is your top 5 Liverpool fans, or if you're a rival fan on here, you want to get involved, get your top five. Am I being too biased? Am I being too Liverpool biased? Or have you got a different top five? Bearing in mind, it's not just form. It's form and general ability together. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, get your notification bells on to get content every single day. Talking quizzes is going to be a new round coming up, which is going to be a bingo style round. Talking Rivals coming out tomorrow. Get involved in this channel. Match previews coming up as well for the phone game. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a great week, Reds. Have a great week.